Yeah, I think I'm there now. Okay, I think I'm there now. Um,
What did
Okay.
you do?
well, what happened is that for no reason at all, it switched
Yeah,
it.
you're there.
Yeah, it switched back my mic to default instead of where it was all the time, and
Oh, yeah,
I've literally
I get that all the time.
I've literally not touched that setting. So
I try and use this one as much as I can now.
yeah, well, I've got this one. It's a really great one, but if the system doesn't, choose that one,
Are
uh,
we now going showing off? Showing off. I've got this one.
okay.
Yes.
Wait a minute. No, okay. Okay, so this is.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do a short intro again because we missed the actual intro. Welcome back to this show. Finally, after last week's, we were missing in action. We're very sorry about that, but these things happen sometimes, and we just weren't able to get the show on the road. Today, however, we do have a show, and with a good start, and we've got more technical challenges. So hopefully, everything will go fine. Anyway, we've got sound now, so we have sound. Yes, everything checked. Okay, today. A couple of things, but a really important thing is the AirTech Adventures thing. So I don't want to spend too much.
That's going to be the big one.
That's going to be the big one, and we're going to probably need a lot of time for that. So, but having said that, I don't think we can skip news of the week because we had a Formula One race in Baku, of all places.
Yeah.
And it was, the memes on the internet are going crazy because this was something to never forget. Unfortunately, what happened to Max, I was totally gutted. I was actually, it was, and the thing is, okay, so for people that didn't see it,
and Pirelli are blaming debris, which is exactly what everyone predicted.
Obviously. So if you didn't see Formula One, you probably shouldn't be in our community. But if so, please go away. But
No.
There goes our one viewer.
Yeah, our one viewer just left.
Okay, anyway, we had a race in Baku. It's a street circuit, but it's different from Monaco in that it's quicker. It has a long straight. So it's really whether you go for downforce or speed, and really challenging that. Mercedes had a really bad start. Red Bull looked pretty good, so everything looked fine except for in the practice. Max went off into the wall. Luckily, that didn't cause any problems. Qualifying was really messy. He didn't do that well in qualifying and came in P3. So that was the start. And then things happened. A lot of things happened. And one of the things that happened is that Max was leading the race. Perez was actually doing a really good job, and I'm really happy for him and for Red Bull because that's exactly what they want. And he's such a nice guy too. But, he was driving second and he was really doing a good job following Max, but also keeping Hamilton behind. And Hamilton, in his we all know what he's going to do if he's not leading and not in control. He's whining. He's complaining about, why is this guy in front of me? Why is this? I'm not able to keep up with him, which we obviously all love because we want to see Hamilton fail very badly. So, and he was not failing, but he just wasn't quick enough, which is good to see after 7 or 6 years of total dominance. So anyway, and then everything looked as if Max was going to win the race, Checo was going to finish second, maybe Hamilton third, so all fine. And then Max had a tire blow up on the straight with 300 kilometers an hour, and just before that, 10 minutes before that, the same thing. It looked like exactly the same thing happened to Stroll. Same tire, same way it blew. And from that moment on, with the tires, I said to Michelle, I am very nervous now because tires is a thing. It's the white tire again, and the white tires are shit because they have caused so many problems, and they are driving on these tires, and one of them blew already. Max is really, driving well and putting a lot of strain on the tires, probably because he was actually gaining speed towards the end of the race, and then it blew. So this was actually, I thought I would never watch Formula One again, just because you can't handle that. That's just something. I saw the car and I said, oh shit, here we go. And then, obviously, gutted, and then we had the whole thing with a restart, which was a mess in itself. Why did they restart a race just with two more laps to go? We were all thinking, stop the race. This is it. It's safer. There's no use in getting one or two more laps out. Accidents will happen. We're all like, stop this whole thing, and we forget about it and go on to the next race. Luckily, in the end, it did not stop, and they did a restart from standing positions. And you probably all saw it that Hamilton fucked up the start. He pressed the button with brake balance, and he just went straight into like a runoff area. And Checo led the race.
I don't know if that was all to do with him pushing the button, because if you look at the angle of his car, even if his brakes had worked, there's no way he was going to make that corner.
No, true.
Yeah.
I think he was going to try and ram Checo.
Yeah.
I think he had no intention. I think he had no intention of trying to get around that corner. The angle of the car was completely wrong. But anyway.
Well, maybe we probably will never know exactly what happened, but one thing is clear, because both Max and Hamilton were out of points. The standing in the championship is still the same, except for Checo going up, and also Red Bull leading more firmly than they did before, because Bottas was just nowhere to be seen. Another great thing that was Mazepin finished before Hamilton, which who would have guessed that would happen?
Do you know the guy I was the most impressed with?
Vettel, yeah. I love
I think now he's out of the pressure of Ferrari. Yeah. He might start to become a driver again.
Yeah. The whole thing, a lot of mind games. Vettel is a good example. He is happy again. He feels comfortable with the car. You can see it in his face. He was so frustrated at Ferrari because of things we will probably hear in a couple of years what happened there. But he can't say, obviously. But he was totally not the man he was before. And now he's coming back, and he is so happy, and he is like really happy. Also for other drivers that drive a good, because he's matured, and he's not like childish in that anymore, not petty.
Yeah, he's stopped driving like a child.
Exactly. So that's an example of where it's positive. Where it's also positive, obviously, is Checo. What I do find positive in the end is Max, because the way he behaved himself after the whole thing, I think was pretty good, because a couple of years ago he would probably have done differently. So I think that's good. But what was, on the other hand, the negative is Hamilton. Hamilton is just not used to this pressure anymore. He has been dominant for so many years, and I don't even know if you can blame him for that. Well, in the end you can, obviously, because he's doing it, but then again, it's for him a totally new experience that he is under pressure. He can't be, the god of things anymore and play like, he is, I don't know the English word for it. I think you on Facebook you put something that actually exactly, Chris, exactly states what I want to say. And I don't know if you know what you said, and maybe leave out the swear words, but but he's not the king or the queen anymore.
Yeah, Princess Louise.
Yeah. And and now he starts struggling because he doesn't want that, and he doesn't know how to handle that. And that pressure has caused the mistake, I think. That also has caused the mistake he made in, where was it, Imola, or where he went off, and he was lucky to be able to restart.
Well, he's under pressure from Mercedes as well, because they only renewed his contract for 1 year, so he knows he doesn't have a seat next year.
No. And I think probably knowing Hamilton, he is gonna play it that way, saying, well, he will find a way to make this not his fault. He will play it, and he will say, yeah, it's time for me. I've been champion for 7 years. It's time for the new guys to. He will probably say something like that, but we'll see. Anyway, I was actually so confused after the race was done that I did not know how I felt. I didn't know whether
I'm so conflicted.
I'm conflicted. I was completely mind-fucked because I wasn't happy, but I was a little bit happy because Hamilton went off too, so it didn't cost him any points in the championship. But then again, I thought if he didn't have that tire blow up, he would have been ahead for 26 or 25 points.
Yeah.
So it's still a bad thing that this happened. And
see what happens in the next race.
We'll see what happens in the next race. And as you said, Pirelli's going to blame it on debris.
And they have.
And they have, obviously. And it can be debris, but it's highly unlikely
if it was... I don't know.
No. Highly unlikely.
Anyway,
so that was Formula 1. I'm more and more nervous for each race now, so I don't know if I manage to actually go see the next one. I'll probably just skip it and wait until I know the result and then watch it afterwards.
Make sure you go pee before you watch the race.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just it's crazy. Okay, I want to do a really short. Let me see if I can get this done. A really short. There we go. This is it's not exactly finished, and I'm gonna tell you why. But this is the result as it is now of the Stuecker plane. I think it came out pretty good. And I like the way. I mean, the reason I went for it was the way it looked. It looked so cool, as an old World War I plane. So everything went fine. Getting the second wing, the top wing on, was hell because all the studs have to be in certain positions and they have to all line up. That was just terrible. I've spent, I think, an hour. And it also has to be straight because then when it's finally on and it's not straight, you can start over again, So that was... And also the wheels were not that easy, but... Okay, in the end, it's all fine, so let's not complain about that. Thank you. I think so too. The only thing that I need to do is the rigging. And I ordered some special rigging material, which is sort of elastic, which is great, but it's too thin because you can't see it. I can't even see it live, and you can probably not see it at all on the video. But there are some wiring here, so I've went to Albertine's Kralenfabriek or something, and I ordered some thicker elastic like wire. So I'm gonna try that and see if that works. But so anyway, I thought I'd show that. Just as a result.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think so too.
I like the propellers. I like the paint on the propellers.
Yeah, it's. I tried my best, and I think it's good too. There is a way to make it even more beautiful, but the propeller on this plane didn't have that, so I didn't do it that way. But you can, if there are certain colors of wood, the way they shave the propeller, you can see certain forms in the propeller where they sort of cut the wood, and that sometimes is also nice, but maybe the next one. Anyway, so that's the Stuecker plane. Now finally we come to the main part of this show. And let me see if I can finally, without further ado, let me switch over to Chris. And I think So
you should be able to see a lot of stuff on my screen. I should be down in one corner.
Yeah.
And then above me here or here should be Google Earth.
Yeah.
There.
And over there should be some photo from my my Google Photos.
Yeah.
So the Apple AirTag.
Yeah.
just a quick recap. The way the Apple AirTag works is it uses a low energy Bluetooth signal, and if it's away from your phone, if another iPhone sees it or is within range of it, it will take the serial number from the AirTag and send the position where it was seen to the Apple servers, and then I can look at that position and try and find the object. So it's designed for doing short distance finding. So we decided to do long distance finding, and I physically mailed the AirTag to Paul, and then we went to see what would happen. So this is Google Earth, obviously. The red line shows you where the AirTag went. So I'm just going to zoom in, and we'll start at the beginning. Because the beginning is a great place to start, because there's some really oddball stuff going on in here. So this is a map of Salt Lake City where I live, and you can see where the line goes. It disappears off the bottom of the map and comes back on again. And I've put little icons on each one of these route markers. A red dot means it was somewhere stationary, like a warehouse. A blue truck means it was in a truck. A blue airplane means it was in an airplane.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The photos over here, this shows you what it looks like on my phone when I get a hit. Mm-hmm. So this very first hit that I got here was at the post office where I dropped it off. Almost straight away when I dropped it off at this post office, I started getting hits on it, like within 30 seconds of leaving it there. So there were enough people in the post office with iPhones that it started to show the position of the tag. Uh-huh. And I thought that's pretty cool. So then, a little bit later, when I was back at the house, I got a hit here on the road, and I'm like, okay. So this means either the guy that was driving the van had an iPhone, uh-huh, or this area here always has stationary traffic, and I got the hit right at the traffic lights, mm-hmm, here. Mm-hmm. So more likely is that someone in a car next to him, yeah, had an iPhone, and that's what tripped it. Mm-hmm. And then as it started to move on, I got all of these hits. You can see the photos on the right-hand side here from all these different places. And it started to move. And the first place it went to was a mail sorting facility over here. Mm-hmm. Now, in Salt Lake City, this industrial area is very close to the airport. You can see the airport's up here. Uh-huh. And the mail sorting place is here. So I thought, it's going to go on a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. A little bit later, I got a hit here on the motorway, and then it disappeared off down south and came all the way down here. I got hits on this freeway coming all the way down here, and then it ended up in Provo, okay, which is south of where I live. Mm-hmm. And this is another postal sorting center. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So I thought, okay, maybe it's going to go by road to Las Vegas.
Exactly.
Since it started to head south.
Yeah.
No.
No.
The next hit that I got was back on the road going north. And it came all the way back up here, went round this freeway here, and ended up really close to where it was. This is now a day later. And it's now here, which is a secure sorting facility. This is like a holding warehouse. Uh-huh. And the distance between these two here is a mile. Yeah. 2 kilometers maybe. So then I thought, it's going by plane. Yeah.
No.
The next hit that I got off it was much, much later that evening, and it was way down here. Hit number 12. So that was... Where was this? This is in my photos down... We're way down here, south somewhere. Yeah. So, at this point, there are no mail sorting facilities. This means that either someone was driving next to the truck for a long time, mm-hmm, or they were stuck in traffic, and someone's iPhone saw this on the motorway going south. Mm-hmm. And over the course of the next few hours, I got hits on the freeway going south, all the way down here. It went through St. George, which is the last city in Utah. I got a hit down here, and I was like, oh, it's going to go out of Las Vegas. But when I got the hit in Las Vegas, it was already south of Las Vegas. Okay. It had gone past the airport. And at this point, there's only one place it can be going, because if you keep going down this motorway, I-15, mm-hmm, you're going to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure enough, all of these hits started to happen on this freeway all the way down here through LA.
Mm-hmm.
And then it arrived at LAX the
Yes.
next morning.
Mm-hmm.
And where it arrived was here. So this is the LA mail sorting facility at the airport. So in my photographs, it was right there. So that's the hit I got off it. And you can see here it says, you probably can't read it, but it says Los Angeles International Airport, Century Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I got a hit.
Yep.
And it stayed here for a day or for 6 hours.
Okay.
I got lots and lots of hits off it here. I got up the next morning and it had moved down here. So once we get down here, these are the excuse me. These are the different cargo facilities for UPS, Delta, FedEx, a couple of other cargo facilities down here. And it was moving around this ramp.
Mm-hmm.
So it went here first, then across the ramp to here, then back to here, then it was down here near where an airplane was parked. So this is where it's now on an airport vehicle, and they're going around and picking up trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're adding more and more trailers. and then this is where it started to get to the point where I thought, I'm way too nerdy for this. Because what started to happen next was I started to get a lot of hits at this gate.
Okay.
So I started to get a lot of hits right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to turn the notifications off because it was driving me crazy.
Okay.
And each hit, the circle of probability got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually narrowed it down here, right to this gate. So number 28 is on the Sunday. So I mailed it to Paul on the Thursday, and on Sunday, I started to get hits from this gate really frequently.
Mm-hmm.
So this was Terminal 2, Gate 21. So I looked on the LAX airport website. This is, what did I just say it was? It was Terminal 2, and this was Gate 21. So then I went to the departure board and looked for the airplane leaving from Gate 21.
Yeah.
And it said JFK, New York. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely on that plane.
Mm-hmm.
So then I opened up Flight Radar 24, which is a great app that you can put on your phone. You can get it online. I got the flight number from the LAX website, and the flight number that it was on was DL392, Delta Airways 392. Put that on Flight Tracker and started to watch. On Flight Tracker, you can only see an airplane when they turn the transponder on. So as soon as the transponder came on, it hit perfectly where the AirTag was.
Mm-hmm.
About 10 minutes later, I got a hit here on the ramp,
Mm-hmm.
which is after they pushed the airplane back and it was sitting on the ramp. So someone somewhere still had a phone on. And it's important at this point, on these internal flights, the mail will have been in a sack.
Yeah.
It will have been a big, strong sack that's manually put into the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good chance for the signal to bounce around and be there. And you can see in the photo here, in fact, that was the tracking point that I got, which means literally someone in that jet bridge standing right there got a hit off the AirTag in this airplane.
Yes.
That's the hit that I got while it was backed out onto the taxiway, and then it went quiet. And I thought, okay, it's in the air. I started tracking the flight as it headed across country. So I used Flight Radar, and I started to watch it go across the country. And I knew what time it was due to arrive in New York. So I sat and watched some TV. I went and worked in the garden. We had some dinner. And I thought, the next thing that'll happen is I will get a hit after it lands in New York. Well, about 45 minutes before it was due to land in New York, I got this in Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
So this hit happened in Buffalo, New York.
Yes. Yes.
It hadn't landed. Now, what this means is a very, very special set of circumstances happened. Someone on the plane had an iPhone.
Uh-huh.
with Bluetooth turned on.
Uh-huh.
They were sitting probably in a seat right on top of the sack in the cargo hold.
Yeah.
And they had an internet connection.
Yeah.
And they saw the AirTag.
Exactly.
The AirTag was close enough to speak to them on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
They had a data connection. It sent the position to the Apple iCloud, and I got a hit over Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm willing to say this might be the first one of these YouTube experiments that's been done where I've got a hit off an AirTag at 24,000 feet traveling at 400 miles an hour. Anyway, that was unexpected. I kind of hoped I'd get one, but I thought it probably wasn't possible. But there it is. I got it. You can see it in the photo here, right over Buffalo, New York.
Great.
So this is where it started to get really funny. So this photo here now is Flight Radar 24. And they flew an approach that came round here. They flew all the way around over the sea, and they did what's called the Canarsie approach, where they come over the sea, and they come over the bay, and they land on this runway here. Mm-hmm. So on Flight Radar, you can see the altitude, you can see the speed. And once the altitude reached 0, I turned to my wife and I said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JFK, New York, where the time is now, whatever the time was. Please remain seated until the airplane has come to a complete stop. You may now turn on your phones.
Yeah.
And 3 seconds after I said you may turn on your phones, I got a hit right there as it left the runway.
Yeah.
You can see on Flight Radar, here's where I got a hit as it left the runway here.
Exactly. Yeah.
So again, with Flight Radar, I looked at the gate and it said, okay, it's going to arrive on this terminal at this gate. And sure enough, as soon as it got to the gate, I got a hit right here. So you can see on the photo, I got a hit right there. From there, it traveled across the ramp. About an hour later, it traveled across the ramp. I got a hit at the international terminal over here. And then it went into here, which is the LAX mail sorting facility, or rather, that's the Delta Cargo building at LAX. And it stayed there. JFK, sorry, yeah, at JFK. And it stayed here for a day. It didn't move. Mm-hmm. So for all day Sunday, or for the evening of Sunday, it was there. All day Monday, it was there. It didn't move. And then Tuesday morning, it appeared over here. And then it appeared on the ramp. So I'm guessing, again, it was now on a trailer that had been loaded at the cargo facility and started to head out to a gate. Mm-hmm. And it came across the ramp, and I started to get the same thing that I did at LAX, but at JFK. I started to get a ton of hits right here at this gate. Mm-hmm. So this is now Tuesday morning. So I sent it Thursday afternoon, and Tuesday morning, it's now sitting at gate B36 at JFK. So again, this time I went to the JFK website and started looking for departures from gate 36 or gate 38, one of these two gates here. And the JFK website said there's a flight leaving here to Amsterdam. And I thought, bingo, this is where it's going. This is the day that it goes across the Atlantic. Mm-hmm. I got the flight number, which was DL46. And I thought, this is going to be different because now it's on a transatlantic flight. It's in a metal container. Yeah. So the mail bag is now in a metal container under a metal floor. Mm-hmm. There's no way I'm going to get a signal off it. It's going to be really weak. And sure enough, I got one hit at the gate after it got loaded on the plane. I got one hit here on the end of the runway, and then it went quiet. Mm-hmm. Because it went quiet, I knew for sure it was on that plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this left at just the right time of day for me that it could make it all the way to Holland before I went to bed. It landed in Amsterdam, or it was scheduled to land in Amsterdam at 10 p.m. my time. So again, I went around the rest of my day, and I used Flight Tracker to watch the flight going across the Atlantic. and I got all the way down to here, and at 10 past 10 my time, so about 6:10 a.m. your time, I got a hit at the gate. Actually, no, it was about 6:30, 6:20. I got a hit at the gate. I didn't get anything on the runway. Again, because it was in the container, I thought there's no chance I'm getting anything off this while it's on the plane. But the next hit I got, you can see in the photo here, is centered around this gate on the very end here. And when I looked on the Amsterdam airport website, that matched perfectly where this flight was supposed to be.
Okay.
So it's in Amsterdam now. It's on the ground. Almost straight away, within 10 or 15 minutes, I got a hit here. And then I got a hit here, and this is the KLM cargo facility.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to bed.
Yeah.
And I knew that there would be 7 hours of data that I was going to be missing.
Yeah.
Because I thought it's probably going to move from here pretty quickly. It actually stayed there for quite a long time, it turns out, because the next morning when I got up, which was about, let's say, 2 o'clock your time, I got a hit here.
Okay.
As it was on the A4 going south. This was just after I got up. So it really didn't travel much in that 7 hours. It spent a lot of time at Schiphol. It might have gone around here, but I got a hit here.
Yeah.
A little bit later, I got a hit down here outside Leidschendam. There's a PostNL sorting facility, which is this guy here. You can see in Google Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It actually has PostNL on the side.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, it's getting close. You know, this is getting into the right area now. Then I got a hit, a really specific hit over here on the motorway. So that must have been, again, someone close to the truck on the motorway. And then it traveled northeast and ended up here near, where did we say it was? In Utrecht. And the first hit I got was on the road on the wrong side of the railway. And the second hit I got was over here.
Okay.
So I'm guessing the truck came along here, crossed over, went up here, and this is another PostNL sorting facility.
Okay.
So we're now on to, I think this is still, this was Wednesday last week. So from there, it traveled again. I didn't get any hits on the road until it got down to Waddinxveen, and it sat here. And this is now a regional PostNL sorting facility where all the regional trucks leave from to go out to the area. Bedtime for me, so again, I knew I'd be missing some data. And when I got up the next morning, I got a hit here at this very, very close to this intersection here, which is starting to get into the neighborhood where Paul is. And then I very excitedly said to Paul, I've just got a hit really close to where you live here. So in this area, where these houses are here, I got a hit here. And about 10 minutes later, I got a text from Paul that said, it's here, I've got it. So for a $39 device, I was able to track this far more accurately than any UPS or FedEx or mail tracking site would ever be able to tell you. We were really lucky to get this hit in the air over Buffalo in New York. I was not expecting that at all. No. One thing that's really interesting, and you can kind of you can infer a lot from the data. So in America, I was getting hits everywhere. Like everywhere this thing went, I just get lots and lots and lots of hits. In Holland, really specific, like only 8 or 10 solid hits. I can infer from this that there are probably more Androids than there are iPhones in Holland.
Maybe. I don't know. What could be. We have to look at market data.
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, I still got really good data. I got information around the airport. I got a hit while it was on the motorway. I got a hit at this intersection here. You know, and I was able to track it down to basically street level precision of where it was delivered. I'm not going to zoom in on the final area, but I know Paul doesn't have an iPhone, but I also know that one of his neighbors does because I'm consistently getting a hit off it today from somewhere around where he lives.
Yeah.
So one of your neighbor's iPhones can see the AirTag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean we live on a stamp, so there's probably 10 or 20 iPhones within 100 meters, I think. So it's great. I was thinking there's so much to talk about, but the first thing that came to mind is they should commercialize the fact to send an AirTag with expensive goods that you order. So
I think they absolutely should do that.
Yeah, if you order something over $1,000 or whatever, they should just as a service send an AirTag with it, so that you constantly know where it is, because that's a business opportunity, I think, for someone to do that. I don't know. So that's one thing that came to mind. The other thing, first I thought, because you didn't get so many hits when it arrived at Schiphol, maybe it's a cargo plane where there's no passengers with iPhones that they switch on the runway. But then I don't think that is the case, because it was on an actual passenger terminal when it stopped.
Yeah, it arrived on let's see.
Yeah.
It arrived where I got
on E-Pier, I think you said.
On the E-Pier, the end of the E-Pier. And this matched where Flight Radar said that Delta flight was going to go.
And also, on the flight data of Radar 24, it was a passenger flight. So that's not it. So then, as you were saying, I was wondering why there was so many hits. And maybe it's just that there are less iPhones. But then again, but there might be less. But it's not way less, on an airport there might be, it might be 60-40 the other way around than it is in the States or something like that. I
remember though, because this came across the Atlantic, it's in a metal box. So it's in a metal box here, it's in a metal box here, it's in a metal box here. The first time it ended up back as just in a plastic bag or in a canvas bag was after it came out of the KLM sort facility and went onto the road. And that's why I was able to pick it up on the road here, because someone was close to it while it was being driven on the road.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's probably the most likely explanation, that it was in that box. And for the rest, it was spot on, and you could see when it was in the area. The postman has, I don't know, maybe 100 packages in his van, and because it's a very very populated area. He's probably driving around in this specific area within 1 mile or so around my house for a couple of hours, just because he has so much deliveries to do. And you could just see that it was close. And then it got a hit from, I think, the neighbors across the street or something. And it's amazing. It's amazing that it's strong enough to pick the signal up.
Yeah.
Can I just point something out for people that are watching in Europe?
Mm-hmm.
Mailing something in Salt Lake City and having it leave from LA is like putting something in the mail in Amsterdam and driving to Barcelona to put it on a plane. I know why they do it, because their main international sort facility is down here in LA, but it's still kind of weird, especially that it went up and down the valley 3 times before it finally left.
I think they found out that it was an AirTag, and just an AirTag. So they thought, well, let's play around with this.
Let's mess with it.
They gave it to colleagues. Let's mess it up. Yeah, that could be, maybe. Yeah.
Or maybe another thing is that when it came in the first facility down south, that they actually scanned it, and that it was doing something. Where they said, hey, this is a special package. We need to check it better.
Yeah, maybe it went to a secure facility.
And they did not have the proper equipment to do so. So they shipped it back to a facility where they can...
That's possible, yeah.
That's a possibility too. Ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Send it back.
Send it back.
what I'm wondering, but we will never know probably, is do you get a serial number of the phone or something which the tag comes from?
No, so it's anonymous data. What I get, so the way it works is, if someone's phone sees the tag, what it does is it sends the phone's location attached to the tag's serial number.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whose phone it was. I don't know what type of phone it was. I don't know which version of iOS it was using. I don't know who owns it. None of that is ever made available. What gets sent to the server is, here's the latitude and longitude of the phone that saw this device with this date and time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because well, I was wondering, I think the chance is really big that your last hit on LAX, the hit on Buffalo, the hit on JFK, and actually the one hit when it landed in Amsterdam, it's probably 4 times the same phone.
It might well have been.
Because
the one in
it
Amsterdam.
Sorry, yeah.
The one in Amsterdam, it wouldn't be because it sat here in JFK for a day. The ones coming across the country, it was probably the same phone from the same passenger sitting really close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then the last one, the last hit from JFK from the runway to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
That's probably then again the same one.
Yeah, that one and the one in Amsterdam was probably the same person.
Yeah.
So, but it was, I should not have been so excited about something like this, but I was really excited. That tells you how bad the last year and a half has been, was that this excites me.
Yes. Well,
I just thought it was such a fantastic experiment to do. And we've decided, with the help of another friend, that we're going to continue this experiment. And the AirTag is now going to go to Perth in Australia.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and get this AirTag all the way around the world, because when it gets to Perth, I'm going to get him to send it back to me in America. So cool. I'm hoping that we'll get the first AirTag that circumnavigates the planet.
Yes. And get hits over Hawaii or something.
Exactly.
We should, I think, send it with the cheapest, crappiest service so that it goes to as many places as possible before it arrives at Perth.
It goes on the Siberia Express.
It goes by road to Turkey.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. We should probably do that. But it's a brilliant idea. I mean, this, we want to see more of this. It's so really cool.
When we send it to Australia, I probably won't track it in quite so much detail, because I know you can get a lot of detail, but it'd be interesting to see where I start to get the hits as it moves around going to Australia.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, has it made any more sound?
No.
That you've heard?
No. Okay. Not that I've heard. No.
So I think the one thing we should probably make sure of when you send it is that the envelope is sufficiently padded or has something in there to muffle any sound so that it doesn't draw attention.
Exactly.
But Paul has a separate video that he's edited together of when the AirTag arrived at his house. I don't know if you want to play it here or if you just want to tag it onto the end of the show.
We can play it here maybe shortly, or let's try and play it, and maybe I'll do a voiceover on it. It's just that it's nice for people to see. If it works, we'll play it here. If not, I can link it. But to see it. What happens when it arrived. So let me try and let's see if I can do that. Yes, here we are.
Cut my screen back.
Hello, how are you today? Okay, I don't.
There he is.
Yeah, but there's no sound, or is there?
On our live stream on Twitch and on
no, I can't hear anything.
Okay, I don't know.
But you can.
I can do a voiceover. I can do a voiceover.
And skip through to the relevant parts.
Okay, I will just, because it says it's got sound here. Anyway, this is when I got it, and let me see if I can play the video and stop it. I got the envelope. Very exciting stuff, obviously. So what are we going to do? We need to document this. So we are. So I was trying to get a grip on how to do this. So I thought first, let's try.
Eric says he can hear it.
Oh, okay.
Now not anymore.
No, because I've killed the channel. So that so it does work. Anyway, so I thought first let's try and scan it, as you can see here, with the phone. That did not work. Nothing happened. I tried moving it, the NFC, I tried all kinds of stuff, and it did not register. And I thought it cannot actually be the envelope. I mean, if phones track it from, outside the plane, it should track it within the envelope. But still, to make sure, I unpacked it, and I tried to get a signal of it directly. Still nothing. So that was disappointing. Then I thought, how can this be? The only thing I could think of is that it was an Android Apple iOS incompatibility, which seems
something we need to just point out here. You're trying to pick up the NFC tag, which is something that the AirTag should be able to communicate to any phone.
Yes.
But only iPhones can pick up the Bluetooth ID and track it. So you're assuming now you found this AirTag and you want to know who the owner is. So that's why you're trying to scan it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I didn't get anything. Did not work, which was disappointing. So then I tried finding apps. I'm not sure if I can see that here. Which was already... Oh, I think it's here. And you could see some apps, but they were all crap and paid stuff, and it was not what it was used for. So I didn't go that way because I didn't really think that would be the solution, to be honest. But I did look at that. So we sort of gave up for a while. And then here I'm doing a video call with... yeah. It's you and you 2 times to sort of talk about what are we going to do. And then I think that was the time when Chris signaled something to say that it was actually lost. Yeah. Or maybe you did it just before that. But I think he said to the AirTag, this AirTag is lost. And apparently it takes some time. I will skip through this. It takes some time to get this done, but I could get a signal now. Suddenly, very quickly, without any problem, just holding the phone near to the tag, it registered and a screen came up. Let's see if we can see the screen a little bit closer. A screen like that, where it's got info about this AirTag, and it's got Chris's email address on it, and just worked like a charm. So, to cut a long story short, let me switch back to the other screen. To cut a long story short, it works exactly as advertised. The only thing is that it takes some time between Chris activating the device to say that it is lost. Apparently, it communicates with the AirTag, and it needs to set something for it in order to try to start communicating through NFC. I think that's probably what it is, and that could take maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know, something like that. But once that's done, it picks it up immediately. You don't even have to look, it just, when it's close to the phone, bloop, the screen comes up and you get a message with whatever the sender or the owner has put in. In this case, it was just an email address and that I should contact him.
I can put an email address or a phone, and I can send a personal message. So I can, if it's something that's really valuable, I can put in the message, please use the email address below. There's a $100 reward for finding this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, so that's great, and it's good that at least we've tried that too, and we know that that's all functional. I've got the whole video with the whole story of my opening the envelope and stuff, and I could make a separate YouTube video of that and link to it later if you're interested. But to the bottom line,
okay,
it's what it is.
just to put a point on that, I just opened the app and it shows here that it was last seen 17 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So again, someone in your neighborhood has an iPhone and it still knows where it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, but it would actually be, but that's the next level, to put information on the tag or whatever, and really try to get it across the globe, just with people who find it. And
I think that's what I'm going to do next. I think once it comes back to me, there's a global game called geocaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I might put this in one of our local geocaches and just see where it goes.
Yes. Yeah.
So
good idea. Yeah.
Adventures with AirTags.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean,
cool.
we were thinking about maybe doing a real like infomentary, or what's it called? Like a real
like an
professional,
an actual with like once it's gone all the way around, we'll do a proper presentation or something.
Exactly, with some slides and some animations and stuff, and put that on YouTube, because that would probably get a lot of hits, I would think.
Yeah.
So great stuff. So I mean,
really interesting to watch how it works.
It is, yes, it is amazing, and so fun. So I'm gonna we'll get in touch about address and stuff. I'm gonna find a way to get this thing to Perth, and try to find a postal service that is really cheap and uses a lot of hubs, and then we'll follow it.
Let's take.
When you take it to the post office, and they say, does it need to be there quickly? You can just say to them, it needs to go as slow as you can make it go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or we just take the car and start driving.
Yeah, that's another possibility. Obviously.
Just deliver it somewhere at the south coast of China. And
well, there are so many things. I mean, an AirTag is, what is it, $50 or $39? So you could. It's still $50, but you could have a lot of fun. Putting it inside of a train, or put it somewhere and just see where it goes.
See, the other thing you can do is, like, you could take it with you on vacation when you go on vacation and not tell me where you've gone, and I would still know where you are.
Yeah, of course.
So,
well, that's another thing, and we can do that with Google Maps too. But if you can, if you sell your car, just stick it on the inside so that you know where your old car is. I can see a lot of privacy concerns.
But people are using it over here. They're putting them in bicycle saddles and all sorts of things now. So if your bike gets stolen, you know where it is.
Yeah.
So
okay, well, this is absolutely great. It was exciting for me as well as it was for you. We're all, and it was cool because we were obviously all the time. I'm getting messages from Chris saying, "Oh, it just went here," and I went onto Flight Radars. It's probably this flight number. Yeah, you're right. It's that flight number. Go to that. Oh, it's left. Yes, it's now. And we were, we were really into this whole thing, and it was so much fun. So we're gonna do this more when it travels to Perth, and we will certainly make a recurring item on the show to talk about the last experiences with the AirTag. So Edwin has done a lot of chatting, which I have paid no attention. Well, I've seen it, but I did pay attention, but I didn't mention it. Things like of je stopt de stekker erin. Nou, well. Nee. Oh ja, about the Formula 1. Doei.
Yeah.
Doei. And then about the sound, and he says it's super cool to Chris, and also that we should send it by sea, by boat. Well, I don't know if that still exists, but the thing is that on sea you probably, well, I don't know, if you have less. Would you have less hits when it's on a boat than it's on a plane?
Yeah, because the boat would have to have internet access.
Exactly.
Which means satellite, which is expensive, and a lot of people wouldn't do it.
No. So it's probably for tracking it. It's probably better to send it by plane. or by car on the road. But
yeah,
okay. Well, cool. Okay, guys, I think this was it for today's show. Sorry for
it was really interesting.
It was interesting. Sorry for the problems at the start, but I'll cut that off on the YouTube version, so you won't see that back. But thanks a lot. We'll be there normally 8 o'clock next week. We will really try and stick to that time and do another show then. And for now, I can only say thank you for watching. For the ones that watch it live, many thanks. For the ones that watch us on YouTube, please leave a remark and tell us what you think. And hopefully, thumbs up, abonneren. Thumbs down is good too. You know, we just want to know what it is. So thank you all, and hope to see you all next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bye bye.
See you all.
See you next week.
Bye. Bye.